All right. It says we are live. Let's see here. Like I said, I've only been up and running for about 2 weeks, so I'm still trying to learn.
Nah, you're doing it. I'm just glad you're doing it. I am. It's good for High Valley baseball.
All right. Hey, thank you everybody for joining the live stream today. This is Down the Line with Jeremy Humphrey. Today's special guest is Anthony Reasbeck, head coach for Martins Ferry. Thank you, Coach, and thank you for coming on board.
Absolutely. Again, this is a good thing, especially for High Valley baseball. You know, when I first started this, High Valley baseball wasn't, especially Martins Ferry, to tell you the truth. I don't want to throw us under the bus just yet, but it really wasn't a huge thing. Baseball is getting bigger and bigger in the Valley. And I say it every year. This is by far the best sport in the High Valley. It's not even close, in my opinion. And I mean, I think you can ask football and basketball guys. If you look every year, somebody's in a state tournament. And you can't really say that for a lot of other teams. And those teams are in a state tournament. They didn't win the OVAC. If you look, they don't win their conference, but you can make it to the OVAC, or you can make it to the state title. The state runner-ups, it's happened numerous times, and that's just how good a High Valley baseball is.
I agree. Baseball is definitely competitive, especially with the way travel ball has taken off. You're definitely seeing some competitive natures come out in most kids in the Valley nowadays.
It's fun.
It's making it exciting, that's for sure. How long have you coached at Ferry? Were you an assistant coach there, or
I was an assistant for 2 years. I was a JV coach for 2 years. I was young. I ended up getting a job when I was 24. Okay. This is going into my 14th year. Oh, wow. So it's kind of young, but kind of old too. It's kind of funny. Like we were talking about state clinic before, like when you walk into the state clinic 14 years ago, and I'm like, what am I doing here? And I look around and I see the Tom Slevas and Freddie Hetherington and those guys. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm in the right room or not. But now you look around and you're one of the old guys. It's weird. It really is.
Everybody knows who you are now.
Yeah, it's weird.
So let's, did you play college ball anywhere?
I played, I was a football, basketball, baseball guy. Had a good career here at Martins Ferry. I was lucky enough to play for great coaches, the Jeff Sabatinos, the Dave Brunis. That was a lot of fun playing with those guys. I mean, you play for two legends. I ended up coaching for Dave Bruni for 12 years. In my first game, my senior year playing quarterback, I ripped my knee up. Tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus. Like a dumbass, I keep playing. I played 5 more football games, tried to play basketball. It didn't work. Had surgery, the whole 9 yards. So I kind of missed that whole year. Went to Bethany, played basketball. And then it was just, I kind of had a feeling the dream was over. So then just kind of, you know what, maybe I'll try this coaching thing. Right. I had a heck of a baseball coach. He was an assistant back then. He's now the principal at John Marshall, Jason Marling. And, when I was playing, he kind of took me under his wing as a young freshman and a sophomore. And I was like, man, I really like this guy. I like this guy. And he's kind of got me started in Martins Ferry baseball. And 24 years old, the job came open. I just got a job. I kind of him-hawed around. The next thing I know, here I am.
Yeah. So you're also, I can see you're at school too. So you also work for the school district now as well?
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as I walked in the door, I was teaching and the head baseball coach. And it's kind of been a blur from there, to tell you the truth. It goes really, really fast. I mean, people tell you it goes fast, but I mean, you look back and I see these guys now, some of the guys I've coached married, they have kids, and I'm like, how did this happen? And it's just crazy.
Right.
But a lot of great guys have played for me, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a quick 14 years. It really has.
Yeah. Now here we go to the next 14, right?
I'm not going to promise you that.
So let's recap 2023. Just to hear in my notes here, it looks like you finished third in the OVAC final standings for your division. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how OVACs went last year. Did y'all win the first game and make it to the championship? Or
do I have to talk about it?
You don't have to.
Can I decline? No, I'm just kidding. In 2021, we played for the championship. Lindsley beat us 4-3. In 2022, we won it. And it was kind of we kind of went into it. We knew we weren't going to be great. We had a heck of to tell you the truth, we've had a 7-year run that I'd put up against anybody in the Valley, I would. And we knew we were kind of going to have a little bit of a rough patch, and it was not a rough patch. Our guys they played really, really well last year. Coming down the stretch, we were a great baseball team. Our goal is always to qualify for the OVAC, and we did. We ran into a monster Lindsley team, and we got whooped. I mean, we did. I mean, it is what it is. I can't. And I tell you what, we really built off of that. And after that game, we got hot. And we in the section, we hosted a good Sandy Valley team. We got them, and then we went to Harrison. And to tell you the truth, I haven't slept a full night since. We were a little bit nicked up. I was down 2 starters, and you look up, and we're winning 3-2 in the 6th. And we kind of gave a few things here and there, and next thing you know, they're playing for a state championship, and you kind of think, well, here we go, And I hate to beat a dead horse, but in our last 8 years, I think 6 of the 8 years, the team that beat us in a tournament either won it, were runner-up, or played for the state semis. And that's the games that we didn't get drilled in those games. I mean, we hung, so we're knocking on the door. We just got to break the door down at some point.
Yeah. I just talked to Coach Valesco yesterday. They're out in Myrtle Beach right now, playing some teams down south for their opening season, just trying to get in some of that summer groove. And he talked about that run that they made last year and just how special it was with just how they ended the season and how he was able to get those guys back on board and high end. So you're there. Sounds like you're there. Like I said, I'm still kind of new to the area, so I'm still learning baseball and softball coaches and just kind of getting a feel for how it works in the valley.
We were lucky enough to make the regional in 17 to win the district. We played for a district title in 21. Now that was another one you lose sleep over. And I love Coach Butler. I love Coach Valesco. Mikey Colopy is one of my best friends in coaching. But like 21, we play for district finals. We play Barnesville. They end up making the state semis. We beat them twice coming into the district finals, and they get us there and go to the state semis. And it's just like, man, what do we got to do here? Yeah. But I promise you, it's going to come. If come hell or high water, it's going to come.
Absolutely. So then let's just jump into 2024 here. I know the season started Saturday. Looks like you're 1-0 on the season.
We actually haven't opened yet.
Oh, you haven't?
We were supposed to open with Harrison yesterday, and Mikey went to Myrtle Beach, and I'm sitting here watching it rain. So you see how we stand up here.
I cheated and looked at Game Changer, and Game Changer said you were 1-0. So
I wish. No, we have Creek's coming here tomorrow, and that'll be our opener.
You already canceled for today against St. C?
We were supposed to open them. Tomorrow is our scheduled opener, so we'll see.
Let's see here. I'm just okay. There's your schedule there. So you got Creek 2 days, Brook, which we've talked to Coach Costain the other day. Harrison Central. I don't see Steubenville on here.
We scrimmage them. We scrimmage Steubenville every year. That's our main. That's our big competition scrimmage, and it's a good scrimmage for both teams.
Yeah. I know junior high had a game at Harrison Central, Toronto and Harrison Central did. So, and I saw y'all scrimmaging Harrison Central down there. Yeah. Before that, how'd that scrimmage go with them?
It was an early one. I didn't have my basketball guys there yet, but we got some young kids that are going to play. I mean, there'll be some times that I look out on the field, there'll be 4 freshmen and 2 sophomores. Oh wow! And it's not because it's not by necessity. They're pretty good, and I'm curious to see how it's kind of pans out with these guys. The tough part of it is if you look at our schedule, I mean, we don't have many cupcakes to start. I mean, Creek's a very good program. Brook has, I think, 7, 8, 9 seniors in the lineup. Yeah, Cambridge played for regional final last year, and Harrison played for a state championship last year. And there's our first 5 games. Yeah. So, and I told these guys, man, from the time they walked in the door, I said, your first 5, you better buckle in. And we'll see. I mean, we have to survive that first 5. If we do, we got an opportunity to have a heck of a year.
Absolutely. Now I'm just going over this real quick, just glancing. Do you do any tournaments or anything as far as like a weekend tournament or?
No, you know why? I mean, it's like it might be the wrong way of thinking, but I tell my guys every year, like, we're not judged on sectional championships. We're not judged on any. We're judged on OVAC championships, district championships, regional championships, and state championships. Period. Nothing else. And my thought was always, if we go to a tournament like this, we play some good competition already in the Valley. Right. We go to that, and I get so frustrated when I get beat by a Valley team. That's who I want to beat, and that's who I want to play, and that's where we're going. And we have relationships with these guys. I don't have a relationship with a Bloom Carroll. Or I'm sorry, this announcement's going. Give me 1 second.
interruption from the beloved Mr. Matuska. Track pictures have been canceled today.
Beautiful.
And all track runners
Come on, dog.
need to be at the track by 3:45. And the defense rate for the offense.
Okay.
Thank you.
But like I said, I know those are good teams, but nothing I get more joy out of than beating a Colopy, a Butler, a Valesco, a Sleva. I love it. And I'm sure they're going to say the same thing for me. And when I go to those tournaments, yeah, it's great to win, but I'm going to waste 2 days of pitching on a guy on a teams that I'm not sure of. I'm probably going to have to play a doubleheader, which I steer away from because that Monday I got to have my pitching staff ready because I'm going to get a Valley team. Right. And I always say, if you beat Valley teams, you can win a state championship anymore. You really can. And that's kind of where we hold our stock.
I agree. So your roster right now, is it kind of like a mixture of all kids? Because I know you said you had a sophomore and freshmen that were seeing it. So
we got 35 guys on the roster right now, which is just crazy. I don't want to cut anybody. It's a program to come in, and there's really not many guys to cut. I mean, we got a pretty good. We got it going pretty good right now, and I have a good senior class, not a big senior class, but a good senior class. I got a good junior class, again, not a big one, but a good one. Yeah. And I'm sophomore and freshman heavy, and I'm curious to see how that pans out. Now it all comes kind of down if these seniors will take you under the wing. Like I have Baron Lucy's played in a district championship game, 2 OVAC championship games, winning an OVAC championship game. Aiden Ludolph's won an OVAC. I mean, these guys have played in big games, my older guys. Yeah. These younger guys, they've played high-level summer ball, and I'm very, very curious to see how this pans out. I really am.
Returning all your staff members, nothing.
I tell you what, I have, and I know everybody that you talk to will say this, I probably have the most loyal staff I've ever seen in my life. Sean Zekas has been with me. We were the JV coaches when we were 20-some years old together. I got the job, and he came right with me. We've been together in this program every step of the way, and he is the most loyal friend I've ever had in my life. He does all the coaching. I just stay back and watch. B.A. Holloway was a head coach at Shadyside. He's now here. He does a great job. I got Tommy Probst, whose both sons have played for me at Martins Ferry. Jake Probst, who's come back. I got Jeremy Plants, who's played for me. Braxton Molesky, they take our JV team. They do a great job. I mean, those guys, I would trust them with anything. They're just great guys to be around.
Nice. So let's just jump right into that then with your staff and your junior high and your youth programs. Who's in charge of your youth programs in junior high, and do are y'all on the same page as teaching the same philosophy when it comes to your younger kids?
Yeah, I kind of left those guys out to dry a little bit, and I'm sure they're not real thrilled with me about this, but we had a tryout, and first year I opened it to 7th and 8th grade, just for the sole fact some 7th graders just aren't ready to play on a 60-foot, 6-inch, 90-foot bag field. They're just not. They're not big and strong enough. Yeah. But we got a big 7th grade class, and I don't want to cut them right now. So I gave them 24 guys, I think, and kind of said good luck. But we're figuring it out. They're doing a nice job. Went up to Toronto and won a doubleheader. Sunday they played at Toronto. Eric Sagon does a very nice job. Davey Snyder does a very nice job. I played with Davey. Heck, he was a senior when I was a freshman. But those guys are into it. There's sometimes guys you can't practice 7 days a week. You got to calm down a little bit. We'll be all right here. But I would rather you have to pull you back a little bit than give you more. And they do just such a tremendous job. And it's tough for us right now because, like I said, I got 35 guys from 9 to 12. I got 20-some guys from 7th and 8th grade. There's a lot of guys in the program, and we don't have the turf field. We don't have I have literally, and I love our field. We have a field, and I got a middle school gym to put these guys in. And it gets tough sometimes to get everybody reps, but so far, so good.
Did you ever think about maybe possibly doing like just an 8th grade team and just a 7th grade team, or a mixture of splitting them up?
We've ran across that, but the problem was we jumped into this new league, and it's all 60 feet, 6 inches, 90 feet. And this is the first year we went 7th and 8th grade. Might not have been the greatest idea in the world, but as long as these guys are getting good quality reps in practice in games, and that's what I told them, this doesn't matter. When you walk in the door as a freshman, it starts to matter a little bit. I don't want you to. My goal was to get everybody in that door as a freshman. And if they're getting reps, and I'm not going to cut them right now, if I can get them in the door as a freshman, they'll be okay.
Good deal. Now, your youth program, I know a guy that seems like every time I open up something, it's either Martins Ferry or a tournament or games or whatever the case may be. I guess two guys. Last name is Patterson, and then Mistovich always seems to hack.
Mistovich is a Lindsley guy. He big timed us. He's too good for Martins Ferry. He's way too good for Martins Ferry. But that's sometimes that's a good thing. Patterson, he doesn't. His boy's on our team. He's on our JV team. Those guys, I mean, those guys get a knock sometimes. Like those the junior high, not the junior high guys, but the little league guys. I mean, somebody got to do it. I mean, right. They get knocked sometimes, but those guys put time and effort in. I respect everybody's going to do that. If you're going to do that to make our community better, to make our junior high programs better, then God bless you, man. I do anything I can do to help you.
I mean, you got to have somebody that takes the brunt force of the youth.
100%. 100%. And it's like I said, winning doesn't happen by accident. I mean, Woody Hayes said it. You win with people. Right. And if you have the right people around, you can win. I mean, if you don't, and you're gonna do this stuff on your own, good luck. I mean, I don't care what kind of talent you have. You got to have the right people around you, and that starts from the Pinot League to the high school league. And when you have success on the high school level, people will kind of buy in on and then it starts to kind of roll a little bit. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
I agree with that. So like I said, we were looking at your schedule here, and it's all local Ohio Valley teams. I know Toronto plays, they go to Harrison Central and play with a PBR, and then they're going to Chillicothe. Do you believe in these showcases, travel ball? You know, what do you do to get your kids recruited and get out there and noticed?
I tell these guys all the time, if you're good enough and you're good, they will find you. I promise you, somebody will know you and somebody will find you. I promise you that. And the thing that frustrates me the most is, and I love the PBR, I love what they do, but when the middle of the road guy pays their money and goes to this stuff, and then they get their picture, and then the parents don't understand why they're not playing because he went to the PBR and he was the greatest thing since sliced bread there, and well, you're not. And that's the kind of thing that gets frustrated with me. But I guess there's positives and negatives with everything. There's a catch-22 in there. There is. And I love it. I think it's great. But like a lot of baseball guys will disagree with what I say here. But when you walk in this door, like, we're not getting you ready for a showcase. We're not. Yeah. We're getting you ready to win. Right. And winning takes a little bit more. It takes a grind. It takes a competitor. It doesn't necessarily take a baseball player. It takes a crazy competitor. And that's kind of what we've hung our hat on our program here. We're going to play harder than anybody. We're going to grit harder than anybody. You might get us one night, but you ain't getting us two. And that's the way we've kind of went about this for 14 years. And that's not and I tell them, if you post anything on social media, you're done. I don't want this. You don't have to tell anybody how great you are. It drives me nuts. Like, if you're good enough, somebody will tell you and put you out there that you're good. You don't have to tell everybody how great you are. And that's and our guys have ran with it. They have. And the guys in the past love it. And there's a reason for success. And I told Colopy this, and he tried to fight me. I think you don't train a dog to practice, you train a dog to fight. And we train our dogs to fight. And that's kind of that's our MO. And I do think the showcases are great. Don't get me wrong. But you get to the college level, you better learn to fight, and you better learn to compete, and you better learn to do some things that you're not accustomed to. And that's my goal. When you walk out this door to go play, you're ready to fight. You're ready to go. And that's kind of what this game misses a little bit, I think. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think a competitor will win more often than not.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, I do. I think it'll win more often than not.
You got to have a guy that has a little bit of dog in him, that wants to go out there and beat everybody up. And, and it's not just beat anybody up. It's a scrappy kid, it's a guy that
100%.
May get to two strikes as fast as possible in the first two pitches, but can battle, and then somehow find a way to put a ball in play.
100%. I mean, you can't. There's too much negative. There's too much failure in baseball. If you're mentally weak, then you're not going to win. There's just too much failure. And I tell those guys, I mean, there's going to come a time when you're miserable walking in the ballpark. We lost 3 games. You walk in this locker room door, you're gonna be miserable. You can't let yourself do it. You got to be so excited to go be able to compete today that you're ready to roll. And it's baseball, especially high school baseball. It's such a grind. And like I tell the football guys, in baseball, every night's Friday night. Every night's Friday night. For sure. You get to play all the time. It's really hard. It's a grind. It really is.
And some of my issues that I have even with travel ball and junior high right now is, these kids want to hit the ball so bad. Every at bat, I got to hit the ball, got to hit the ball. And I feel like, talking to some of these kids and telling them, hey, like, you're going to fail more than you're going to succeed.
Absolutely.
And when you get desperate to do something, that's when you find more struggles.
100%.
Just breathe a little bit, have some
100%.
Just keep putting the ball in play.
And when they figure that out, they get to be really, really good players. Really, really good players. Because you're 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, but that one's a double and 2 RBIs, and you win by 1. You did a nice job today, bud.
Absolutely.
And that's baseball lacks that a little bit, and especially the young guys. And that's kind of the boat I'm in. They're coming from a situation where they bat 600, where you're the top dog. You might come in here and bat 220. And it might be okay, and it worries me a little bit. And that's kind of the mental side. And that's what I tell everybody too. I joke around. I mean, you're more of a psychologist anymore than a coach sometimes. And it really is. If those guys will buy in, it's like I told them, you either buy in or cash out, one of the two. You don't stay in the middle. You got to do one of the two. And if you buy in, you're ready to roll every day, you'll figure it out. For the most part, you'll figure it out.
I agree. So are you a travel ball guy, or do you are you a local, play with your friends the whole time? Like, what is your philosophy on that?
That's a really, really hard question, because back in the day, and I'm sure when you played, you played for Martins Ferry, and then you played Belair, and then you went and played St. Clairsville, and then you went and played somebody else around here. That's how it was. There wasn't that much travel ball back then. There was Legion ball. We all played Legion ball, but it was after our rec season, and it is. The problem is anymore that everybody's playing travel ball. So you have to kind of find your competition when you can find it. I really don't have a problem with it if you're competing. The only problem I have with it, and this is AAU basketball, this is travel baseball, this is whatever. You lose game 1, you're right back on the field game 2. Who cares? You know what I mean? You don't have to sit on that loss very long. You got to go play. I want our guys to be able to sit on that loss for a second and understand, like, okay, how do we fix this? That's the only problem I have with that. But I guess there's a catch-22 too. You're getting more reps. You're competing. I like it. I think if you're getting the right competition and if you're doing it the right way, it's a good thing. It really is. And plus, it's more exposure. It really is. You're getting more exposure than just playing in town all the time. I have zero problem with it. I think it's a good thing.
I think it definitely helps out with once they get to a level where you start to see these off-speed pitches,
100%.
If you're seeing fastball the whole time, it's easy for you to get a feel for a fastball. And what I'm seeing at the junior high level now is for some of the kids that haven't played travel ball, when they see these curveballs or these off-speed pitches,
different world.
It's throwing them off a little bit.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
To coach how to hit off speed, how to sit on it and take it to the opposite field.
And it's a totally different world. That's a different art. And if you don't get that art very often, you're going to be in a little trouble when you get to the big level. And you're 100% right about that. You really are. And you can't simulate that in practice. You can't. You just need real reps doing that.
Yeah, there's not a machine out there that can duplicate a 12.6 very easily without having to really.
No, that comes with reps. That comes with time, and that's why it's good. It really is. Iron sharpens iron. It really does. And good on good is the best thing going. And if you can find good on good, then it's a good thing for you. It's just going to make you better.
I agree. So we're going to get into the parent situation with this. How do you handle your parents? Do you have something in place before the season starts to kind of crowd control management the parents?
I've been extremely lucky. And I know a lot of guys can't say this. I have been extremely lucky. I haven't had that many problems.
Nice.
Nobody. Now, I like it when you talk about me behind my back. I don't mind that because then I don't have to deal with it. Knock yourself out. You can stay behind the fence and scream all you want. If I don't hear it, I don't care. You can have your opinion. Knock yourself out.
Right.
But I really haven't. I haven't had a lot of problem here. And the term "we don't do that here" really helps. And they don't. I've had great parents. And usually my better players, like Colby Shriver was our first team All-Stater in 22. I didn't never talk to his dad. I never talked to him once. In 4 years, never talked to him once. Colin Snedeker, never talked to his dad once. Their names are on the wall down there. Not once. And usually my quietest parents are my best players. It's amazing how that happens. And I've been lucky, but I know a lot of guys haven't. But the thing I tell them all the time is, number one, if your mode of whining is Facebook, I'm taking your stuff and I'm just throwing it right out this door and you can head on down the road. See ya. And just so everybody with their miserable existence can like your post or whatever you do. I hate that. Like I've touched on that too many times today. Exactly. And I told him, you're just done with me. But what I really tell them is, if you have a playing time problem, that's fine. Come ask me. You're not going to like what I say, and I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you can't handle it, you can't handle it. So you might not want to know. I mean, so you're fine staying outside the fence. And that's kind of my deal. Just tell them the truth, and that'll be the last conversation you have.
That seems to be the same response from all the coaches. It seems like there's something in place. Yes, some of them have contracts, but it seems to be that the playing time question gets asked the most, and everybody's had the same response. If you don't like your playing time, come to me. Yeah. I'm going to tell you the truth. You're not going to like it. You're either going to work harder or you're going to quit and run to mommy and daddy and tell them coach isn't playing me and not giving me a shot, even though coach is giving me the reason why I'm not playing.
Exactly. You know, I don't mind the middle of the road guy. Yeah. It's the delusional one that drives you nuts. Come on, man. I mean, you see this as well as I do. We're not going to have this conversation. And those are the ones that drive me crazy. The middle of the road guy that could probably play, yeah, I'll talk to you. But there's a lot of delusion in sports anymore, and that's everywhere. It's all over the country. There's a lot of delusion.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your coaching philosophy now. Like, you a small ball guy. You hit the ball and cause havoc. Like, what is your philosophy?
My coaching staff gets on me all the time, and they're right. I don't bunt enough. I don't. I just feel like we hit, and I am 100% wrong. We have to bunt more, and we got to that. And when we got a lot better when we started to do that, and that's on me. And to tell you the truth, we have so many. Like I said, there's a reason we play a bunch of Valley teams. We have so many at-bats on these guys. We have so many scouts on these guys. We've seen these guys play. On Harrison and St. Clair's and Belair, we probably have 40 at-bats on some of these guys. Yeah. And because we're out, like our coaching staff was at Lindsley Wheeling Central the other day because they're in our OVSC. So we're going to get at-bats on these guys, and that's kind of how we judge what we're going to do. Offensively, I'm a big proponent of why bunt when you can steal. You know, if this catcher stinks, I'm just going to run him over. Then I'll bunch you to third. A fly ball scores you. And those are the kind of things we kind of look at. We look at your catcher. We look at if this pitcher is going to tip a curveball, I'm running. You know, if you're 0-2 or running. And those are the little things we try to pick up. Baseball stuff aside, I touched on this before. You can't play in this program if you're not going to be a competitor. You just can't. And that's just that's the nature of the beast. And that's kind of how we get after it. And if you don't show you're going to be a competitor, then your job's gone. It's just gone. And we've won games because of that. And I know it's beating a dead horse, but it wins. It does. And that's in anything. That's football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, life, doesn't matter. And that's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
no, go right ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, are you, do you believe in starting these freshmen and sophomores over seniors if they're better? Or do you believe in, what's your philosophy with managing your roster with 20?
I never understood that. I never understood when he's a senior. Oh, this kid's a freshman. What's the difference? They're walking into high school together. Last time I checked, it says 9 to 12. I can play. Anybody walks in the store 9 to 12. If that freshman is better, and to tell you the truth, if that freshman is even, he's in, because he's here for 4 years.
Right.
Sorry. I mean, it's a cutthroat job now. And I tell these guys, listen, if I go 4-16, my daughter might not eat tomorrow because they're going to fire me. You know what I mean? I got to kind of look out for us in this program too. And that's why I really don't like to cut anybody. I want everybody involved. But when it comes to winning, I mean, we're going to put the best product on the field, regardless if you have a 9 or a 12 in front of your name. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's kind of how we roll with it.
I like it. Now we're going back to some of your guys that are still out there or possibly playing. I don't know if they still are. I think Drake Dobson is still playing at West Lib. It looked like he had an outing the other day where he got a save.
He just got back he tore his labrum. He just got back. He was in here the other day. Tore his labrum. He was out for 8 months. I mean, when he played for me, my man could bring it. I came up and watched him in the summer. He was really bringing it. He's had a good run at West Lib. He's back now. I tell you what, he put a lot of work in. Drake put a lot of work in. I watched him, and he really progressed. And he's a darn good pitcher right now. He really is. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the coaching staff here soon, whenever he gets done. I mean, Drake's my man. Me and him talk probably twice a week. He's just a good guy. He is. He's a good baseball player.
And you said Jacob Probst. Is he still playing, or is he?
No, he's done. He's with us now. He's an everyday guy. He's coaching for us. He's a good guy to have. Very knowledgeable about baseball. Yeah, but if he wanted to strap it up, still go. I'm sure he could. He throws BP every day. That's what he's here for. He does a nice job with that too.
Let the young guys throw BP.
You better believe it. I'm too old for that anymore.
Anybody else you got playing at the next level anywhere else?
It's frustrating. I use this guy's name, Colby Shrive. He was unbelievable. He was probably the best pitcher I've ever coached. He was dominant in the Valley. He won us. He single-handedly won the OVAC, him and Sneds. He didn't get many looks. He's just a right-hander that throws 82 mile an hour. But when I talk about that competition stuff, there was never a human being that competed more on the mound than him. And he was never out of a game. He beat Ridgewood. He's beat St. Clairsville. Every team in the Valley he beat. He's beat them. And now he's down at OU. He's pitching for the club team, loving life. And I said, Colby, why don't you walk on? You'd make it. He came up through against us. He's got to be peppering 87. Now he's got bigger. He was lifting. I like his club stuff. We go out after the game. I say, God bless you, man. It is what it is. But we had a couple guys playing the past. TJ Jacob played it. He played for us in 15. He played at Wheeling. I'm not Gerald Pinnerich. He was at Mississippi Valley State, went to Purdue Fort Wayne after that. We've had some guys around.
Good deal. Back to coaching, I guess. College calls you and says, hey, we want to pull you from Ferry. We want you to come coach West Lib. What position are they hiring you for? What is your go-to position that's what they want you for?
Probably infield. I would love to coach the infield. I like that. That's what I know the most about. I know a lot of coaches aren't hiring infield coaches just yet. But I would go hitting and infield. I let Zeke take care of the pitching and all that stuff. But I love the middle infield. Nobody understands how much actually goes into that and how much footwork goes into that. I mean, it's all footwork. And that's what I coached quarterbacks for 12 years down here. And that's footwork. And I just love it. And nobody understands like how much goes into that, how many intricacies in the game are in the middle of that diamond. It's fun to me. That's the position that my coaches allow me to coach, and then I get to stay out of the way for the rest of it. But that's my baby. That's what I take.
Same for me. That if it comes down to infield, that's where I'm at.
It's such a yeah.
So, what's the best outside of the Valley? What is the best complex that you've ever seen in person to like either play at or coach?
Outside of the Valley, we played at Minerva in the regional semis. Beautiful facility. They had cages outside. You had a door from the dugout to the cage. And this is the greatest thing I ever saw in my life. It was awesome. Minerva was really, really good. We went up and played at Wild Things Stadium probably 8 or 9 years ago. It was nice. But I will say this anymore, the Valley surfaces are better than that. And that's crazy to say, but they are. The playing surfaces alone are better than the Wild Things Stadium. And you don't have to leave the Valley very often to get a good facility. And it's
got Steubenville with their new turf, Harrison Central, Toronto's turf, Weirton, I think, just got turf.
Weirton, yeah, they just got it. And hopefully next year, Martins Ferry.
Y'all gonna go purple, or y'all gonna throw it, do something different?
Now you're teasing me. I already know exactly what I want. I just need the board to get on board with me. I think I got them. I think we're there. I think this is the year. But we're getting close. We are. And to tell you the truth, and this is what I kind of sold him on. We got a guy on the board who's a baseball guy who I played with. And I told him, I said, man, it's a competitive advantage. And we don't have that advantage. For example, I'm sitting here watching it rain. We got Indian Creek tomorrow. I have to start on this field at 9 o'clock tomorrow to get a game ready at 5. I'm sick of doing it. I don't want to do it anymore. And you can't practice. It's such a competitive advantage when teams have turf anymore. that you have to have it. It's just if you're gonna keep up with the Jimmies and Joes, you have to have it. You do, and I think you're gonna add Martins Ferry to that list next year, hopefully.
Nice. Good deal. I mean, I like it. I mean, it makes it fun when you don't have to cancel games and then try and reschedule them.
Yeah.
And, you know, especially when you're trying to get your OBAC points. You know, you got to make sure that you get those in play. That way, the standings when they come out, you're in that top 4. So that you can go compete for that OVAC championship.
Yeah, especially in preparation too. I mean,
yeah,
in February, you get 60-degree days. You got a turf field, you're on there. And you're probably practicing outside, I don't know what, at least total 3.5, 4 weeks before we don't get that. We're in the gym. And that's just a competitive advantage. It is.
Yep, I agree. I mean, Coach Perkins, if it's 42 and sunny outside, we're doing, you know, situations, you know,
100%.
Whatever we can do.
100%. That's why you got it.
Yep. Now inside the Valley, what's your favorite stadium to go play in with the new turfs and complexes that are out there?
There's 2. I think Edison, no knock on Harrison. It's not. Harrison's awesome. Edison, I love. I think Edison's makeup of Edison's field is awesome. I mean, we've had some success there, don't get me wrong, but Edison, that's where we won the OVAC, not Mikey Colopy himself, but that's where we won the OVAC. We've had some success there, and the complex itself is awesome. I mean, everything right there, and Bill Beatty's my guy. Bill did a great job on that. I mean, just the complex itself is great. You walk in and you kind of look around and think, man, this is nice. And the playing surface at Edison's nice. Dugouts are nice. I just really, really like it. My second one will catch a lot of people off guard. When I was playing, Bridgeport had the nicest facility around. They did. And there's ambiance down there. I'm a big ambiance guy.
Yeah.
And if you look at like even the basketball gyms around the Valley anymore, they all look the same. These new gyms, every gym looks the same. But back in the day, we played on the stage. Belaire's had some character. St. Clairsville's has character. Bridgeport's baseball field has character. And Bill Mazeroski played on that field. John Havlicek played on that field. I mean, you got Hall of Famers that played on that field. You can't say that anywhere else. And we played our OVAC semi games down there. We've played sectional semi games down there when I played. It was a nice field. I like going down there. It's nice. It really is. There's ambiance there.
Where's that field located at?
It's right off 70. I mean, you can see it on 70 when you're coming down 70. Say, for example, you're going to Toronto to St. Clairsville.
Yeah.
As soon as you get off the exit, go about 2 minutes, look right, you'll see it.
Okay.
That was the best field going 20 years ago. It was, other than Vaquero. But around here in my area, every big game played at Bridgeport. I must have watched, heck, when I was a pup, we would go down and watch games at Bridgeport because the sectionals and all that stuff was there. And there's so much history there.
Yeah.
So many good players, Hall of Famers have played there, and you can't replace that.
Yeah, you're the second person that has said Vaquero Field was another field that has got that ambiance as well.
There's character there. I mean, I miss that about the newer stuff coming around. Like you lose a little edge. And it worries me about that. Now, I'm not saying teams with turf lose edge. That's stupid to say.
Yeah.
And then because I want it, but like yesterday, we're digging in the dirt a little bit. And we're doing things along that nature. I don't want to do it, but you got to kind of sell it on your guys. For example, our guys got orange conditioner all over them yesterday, and I stopped. I said, you think Edison got that? You think Harrison got that? You think Toronto got that? No, they don't. We got to do this stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm jealous out of my mind. But, I mean, it's just you got to sell it a little bit.
Yeah, my travel organization took over Edison's old high school field down at State Lake.
Jefferson Lake. There is no place on this earth I hate more than Jefferson Lake. Because it called, you know why? I was 0 for my career at Jefferson Lake. The last game at Jefferson Lake, I finally got him. But I hated that place. I'm so glad they built that new place. We're undefeated at the new place, so I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, we took over that complex, and
beautiful.
It's coming back to life. But like you said, we had 4 games there yesterday. Sunday we had 4 games. Yes, we had 4 games out there, and I was out there Friday night working on it. I was out there Sunday morning working on it. Field dry.
It's terrible.
Dirt around. It was so bad. And
that's what's tough about this.
You got out there and the whole ground was just frozen still from the morning. So by the time the first game started at noon, that's whenever the sun came up, started thawing out the dirt. Then it became mushy and like trying to
That's what frustrates me about it too. I mean, now how many hours you put in there? 3, 4, 5 hours to get a game started, and nobody sees that. But they're the first one to whine when something happens. Wait a minute now. Yeah. We've been out here for 5 hours. Where you been? Like, shut up. You're not allowed to speak on that. And nobody sees that work you got to put into play. And I respect you for doing it. It's tough. It makes it tough.
It's been some brutal days.
I know the feeling.
Luckily, I got some of Coach Colopy's old players that helped coach the organization with me. So they have a little bit of experience with working on the field. So,
well, they've been trained well if they were under him. They have. They've been trained well.
I hear he spent more time at the field than he actually did doing teaching or anything like that.
Well, he's no dummy either. I do. We got to sneak away every once in a while.
Well, I don't have any more questions lined up other than some rapid fire ones here. So I'm going to hit this little button right here. This little rapid fire section is going to be sponsored by Corey's HVAC. For all your heating and air conditioning issues, service, repairs, installations, you can call Corey at 740-317-3649. All right, Coach, you ready for this?
Yeah.
What is your pregame meal or snack that you have to have before you hit get to the stadium?
Sounds a little crazy. A lot of nervous energy before a game. Honest to God, I run downtown, I grab a coffee, and I sit in my desk for about 40 minutes of quiet. And that's probably the best time of my day. I sit in here, I drink my coffee. Nobody talks to me for 40 minutes because I know it's about to get really, really wild.
Yeah.
So I have my coffee, I'll relax, and then we'll go to work. I'll start on the field, we'll go to BP and stuff like that. But that's, without question, the best part of game day. Yeah, I love it. That's the best part of my day.
Coffee black, couple sugars.
Yeah, and straight black. I can't have it. I'm too amped up anyway. I got to go black.
All right. Well, now you're in the middle of the game, and it's hectic. I know. You got a pregame snack or something that you have in the dugout to keep you?
I can't. I can't. I can't get my head. I've gotten better at this. When I was a young kid doing this, I was goofy. I was out of my mind, and my guys showed that. I'm still a little bit goofy, but I'm quiet when I do it, so I can't eat anything. I just kind of, I can't. There's no way I could do it, and I kind of trying like crazy to keep my emotions in check for 7 innings.
Right. Ever been kicked out of a game?
OVAC championship game, 2015. My fault, young kid, immature. We'd have won if I wasn't so immature. We were playing Steubenville in 15. We're up 5-2 in the 6th. And I got antsy. And I was an immature coach then, and it showed. We got beaten 10 innings, and I was so damn mad. My boy Chippy Pellegrino, I'll never forget it. I said, hell with it, I'm jumping him. And to this day, I laugh with him. Chip's my guy. But, yeah, he yanked me after the game, and it was 100% deserved. They didn't do anything wrong. I was just whining like an idiot. And that's kind of the day that I was like, all right, it's time to grow up. And we did, and we've been more successful because of that.
So you got kicked 2015? 2015
OVAC. No, I'm sorry. What year was it? 2014 OVAC championship game. I'm sorry. 2014. And after that, it was time to grow up.
Yeah, we all have that moment. I was coaching junior high basketball when I first moved up here, probably year 3 or 4. I was coaching junior high girls basketball. Had a little situation, immature.
It's tough.
2 technicals in 2 seconds, and you get kicked out, and then you have to explain to the parents and the coaches and Coach Perk, who's the junior high athletic director.
Yeah, and then you feel like crap for forever. How long?
And then you go and get hired on with baseball for him, and then you still got that dwelling in the background of like, 2-game suspension, 150, anger management class.
I tell you, they don't tell you got to pay for that anger management class. They threw that one in there. It's $125. It's $100 fine and 25. I said, heck with this. I'm not doing this anymore.
Right. And you learn pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right. So you're driving down the road, or you're trying to get yourself mindset after your 40-minute break with your coffee. You got to get your mind right. What's your go-to song to kind of like now get you pumped up and amped up that you can put on repeat?
You might laugh at this, but when we start BP, it's straight WWE entrance music. And we blare it. Oh, it's awesome. It's the best stuff in the world. When the team's walking in and the Undertaker's music's playing, they got to think, what the heck's wrong with these guys? And it's just, we love it. That's kind of a staple of our program. Those guys, they get it going, and BP's going, and here we go. And we let it play for a while, and it's a lot of fun for those guys.
they walk through the gate. Next time I see you, Coach, if I go to a game, I want to see everybody, the other team, walk through the gate and your guys' eyes rolling up and then just hit
Ask Colopy about that. He'll lose his mind. He hates it. Every time he walks in, we make sure the Undertaker's playing.
I've got him next Monday, so I'm going to write that down. Yeah, he's coming on Monday with me.
Yeah, oh, you got to ask him about that. He'll love that.
Well, Coach, hey, I appreciate your time today. I'm going to let you get back to your school work there.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Spread the word. Subscribe
Absolutely.
to the channel. Let's
Absolutely
get it out there more.
Hey, we appreciate what you're doing for Valley Baseball. It's awesome.
Hey, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Okay, Jeff.
We'll check in later on.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Good luck.